Chronicles Entertainment.
How you doing? This is Shannon, LACY, Iconic Chronicles magazine and OzCat Radio.
Hey, what's up, Shannon?
What's happening?
Girl, nothing, keeping it moving.
We got your single over here that I'm going to be entering into rotation, and we had to have you in the mag, somebody.
Nice, that's what's up. Nice. Well, thank you. Let me just start by saying that I appreciate it. I really do.
Oh yeah, for sure. So you're from the Midwest, and you got the R&B thing going. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, basically, I am from, like I said, from the Midwest, and R&B, in my opinion, here, something that's kind of died down. I believe the R&B as a whole has, but especially here in the Midwest, there's really no activity going on in my opinion. And so, first of all, I just wanted to kind of get R&B back to where it used to be. Let me just start by saying that. And what I mean by that is, it's just back to the root of singing. People, you can talk a song all day and have a hit, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But far as, really singing, I think that's definitely kind of died down. So here in the Midwest, there are very few singers, very few singers. And, when people do get a little something there, they don't really represent, in my opinion. So really what I'm looking to do, Shannon, is just put us on the map. Put us on the map. And so that's what it's about right now. Just really taking my love for the music, for R&B, and just really reaching as many people as I can with it.
Right. So tell us about Somebody, the hit single.
Yes. Somebody. Wow. As you said, it's my debut single. I just released it February 14th, Valentine's Day 2013 to be exact. It's produced by a group of gentlemen who refer to themselves as Beat Boys. Okay. And when I heard it, I instantly fell in love with it. And somebody, it comes from my personal experience, mainly. It comes from observation of others. That song, everybody won't love.
Right.
I don't care who you are. So the song, it was basically written from my heart. It really was. I like to think of it as like my love anthem, so for to speak, but I didn't want to just tailor it to women, because it's not just for women, it's for men too, because like I said a minute ago, no matter who you are, we all long to have that special one, whether it's for a day, for a lifetime, it doesn't matter, but at some point or another, you found yourself like, dang, I wish I had somebody, or you seen somebody pass you by, or couples, and you're like, dang, you've had that longing, and so I just took what I was going through and just how I felt, and I laid it all out in the song. I laid it all out in the song. What I needed, what I wanted, it's all in a nutshell there. So one of the things I also wanted to showcase in the song was, yes, these are the things that I need. I want someone to care for me, but I'm not afraid to admit that I also need someone to show me. Show us how to love. And I said, you know what? Let me put this in there because I need this. Yes, I'm asking for much, but this is why I'm asking it. Show me how to love. Show me how to love. So I definitely, wanted to put that in there, because, sometimes it's difficult to allow someone in our lives, especially if we've been damaged. So really, that's where that song comes from. Just from my heart.
That is what's up. So are you taking this on tour?
Yeah, I actually just got back from the East Coast. I got back home this morning. Honestly, and I did some promoting out on the East Coast with the single. Did
That's
some performing
what's up.
out here.
Yeah.
I was in New York, Delaware. I was in Philly, and I was in DC. Doing a little bit of promoting and performing, and so and the song it's catching like wildfire. It's just kind of all over the place. I know it's playing in different stations throughout various states and things like that. And so also, while I was in New York, I actually shot the video for somebody, so I'm really excited about that. I shot the video this past Saturday in Harlem.
All right.
It was really, really exciting. Really, really exciting.
So how'd it go out there in Harlem?
Oh my gosh, they show it. The whole East Coast, but especially Harlem. There's so much love out there. So much love. I had so much fun working with everyone I worked with on the project, and the people they were amazing.
What tips do you have on staying encouraged and keeping a positive attitude in a negative situation?
Yeah, good question. I mean, amazing question, because at some point or time, we all experience that.
Right.
We all experience some type of low. Although my low may not be your low, but we've all been low. We've all been discouraged. And so the biggest tip I would say is just find that one thing that you go to help calm you down, to help encourage you, let you know it's going to be okay. Whether it's religion, for me it's God. Go have a little talk with Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Or whoever you are. Find your higher power, or meditate, whatever it is, and you have to just kind of take yourself out of the situation and take an inventory of it. Look at it from the outside in and say, okay, this is going wrong, but you know what? At the end of the day, I'm going to see a light. I'm only going to go through this for so long. This won't last always. And for me, when I'm going through, I like to envision myself crossing that line, or envision myself having that victory. I like to look at my outcome before I even have the outcome, basically. So I would definitely say, it's about just finding that thing, just encouraging yourself. We have to encourage ourselves, because there isn't always a cheerleader in your corner. There isn't always going to be someone saying, you know what, that was bad, but you're going to get this. Because, hey, at the end of the day, it may just be you. And so once again, it goes back to practicing, learning, teaching yourself, and learning how to, in those situations, to say, just feels like a light switch, flick it on. It's going to be okay. Just know it's going to be okay. And also, one thing that I like to think is that, okay, although I'm going through what I'm going through, there's always somebody else going through something worse.
Right.
I always revert back to the old gospel Walter Hawkins song, be grateful. There's
Right.
someone else who's worse off than you. And a lot of times, we can get so used to things and me, but guarantee if you were to step out of your situation and go visit somebody else or look at somebody else, you'd be like, dang. Because nothing is as bad as it seems. And that's one thing that, it takes time. That's one thing I'm still learning, and I'm still teaching myself or training myself to know and to feel. Nothing is as bad as it seems. You just have to get through that storm. Once you have that endurance and you get through that storm, you can look back and say, I made it. Bring on the next one. Bring them on. And you just keep going. You got to persevere.
All right. The doors of the church is open.
Pass the collection.
This is going to be an interesting album, because you know what? Somebody, in the way you wrote it, it goes a lot deeper than, even what the image portrays of it. And it's a knocking song. It's slapping, but it really has a message in there. And just conversing with you, I am so fired up to hear what the album is going to sound like.
Yeah. I mean, and that's really, you know, one thing I could say to people who are, you know, looking at this, expecting this, is definitely, as far as my album is concerned, I don't hold back. I don't hold back. I give all of me. That means fans, listeners, they're going to get the good, the bad, the ugly. I practically live through my music, and I'm going to take you on a ride, you know, so I just hope people are ready, because one song, I can have you crying in tears. The next song, you want to get up and jam. You know, the other song, you want to go punch somebody. It's just everywhere. And that's the thing. I don't like to be in a box. You know, I write everything myself. I arrange it all myself. And so I can honestly say no song is unlike. At least that I've done so far, that I'm working on, that's in the works. We're going to be everywhere.